Hello everyone. In today's video, we will be discussing the extraordinary life of Shehnai Maestro Ustad Bismillah Khan. This is the second part of the chapter, The Sound of Music. Now let's begin with the origins of the humble Shehnai. Now Shehnai was a modified instrument of another instrument which was earlier called Tungi. It had a very unpleasant tone and was therefore banned by the Emperor Aurangzeb. A barber of the royal court had access to it and had modified it. It took a naturally hollow stem and made 7 holes in it, and the sound that this new modified instrument made was very melodious. And it was therefore named after the barber of the emperor, the Shah's Nai, and thus Shehnai. It had become an integral part of the traditional ensemble of 9 instruments of the royal court, which is called Nobat. Its sound soon came to be considered as auspicious and had also become an indispensable part of the traditional North Indian weddings and temples. Bismillah Khan was born on 21st March 1916 to a well-known family of musicians of the court of King of Bhojpur. He was interested in music since his early years. As a 5-year-old boy, he would go to the temple and sing songs for which he would be rewarded with laddus. Soon he started accompanying his uncle to the temples where his uncle played Shehnai. As years passed, he would himself sit by the banks of Ganga, which he said inspired him to master the instrument and invent new ragas which were thought to be beyond the range of Shehnai. At the age of 14, he also accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. He got his big break as a Shehnai player with the opening of All India Radio in Lucknow. He was also the first to greet the nation with his music from the Red Fort when India gained its independence in August 1947, in the presence of Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru. He was not only very famous in India but also gained a lot of popularity in outside India as well. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where its king Zahir Shah had showered him with priceless gifts at his brilliant performance. He had also performed at the Lincoln Center Hall, United States, World Exposition Montreal, Cannes, Osaka Trade Fair, and his popularity was such that an auditorium was named after him in Tehran. His music also inspired a Hindi movie director who named a film after him. In this movie, Bismillah Khan's composition had become a huge success. But he disliked the glamour and artificiality of the film industry, and so he did not continue with any other projects in the movie industry in future. He was also conferred with many prestigious awards in India, and in 2001 he received the highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna. But even though he received so much fame and adoration, he was always rooted to his homeland. Whenever he was away from India, he would yearn for the banks of Ganga and to be in Dumrav. Once, a student of his wanted him to shift to USA. He assured Bismillah Khan that he would replicate the exact atmosphere and temples of Banaras there. But to this, Bismillah Khan asked him if he would be able to transport even the Ganga there. He considered our music, our tradition to be our richest heritage, and therefore asked us Indians to teach music to our younger generation. He was a true Indian at heart. He could never bear to stay away from India, from Dumrao and Ganga. And although being a devout Muslim, he could very naturally play the Shehnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. He is indeed a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India. Let us now discuss the questions of this chapter. This is going to be your assignment for today. Why did Aurangzeb ban the playing of the pungi? Because of its shrill, unpleasant sound. How is a shehnai different from a pungi? It is a pipe with a natural hollow that is longer and broader than a pungi. It has 7 holes in it. Where was the shehnai played traditionally? How did Bismillah Khan change this? Traditionally, the shehnai was played at the royal courts, in temples, and at weddings, but Bismillah Khan brought it to the classical stage. When and how did Bismillah Khan get his big break? He got his big break with the opening of All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938. Where did Bismillah Khan play the Shehnai on 15th August 1947? He played it at the Red Fort. Why was the event historic? Because it was on this historic day that the famous speech by Jawaharlal Nehru, The Tryst with Destiny, was given. Number 6. Why did Bismillah Khan refuse to start a Shehnai school in the USA? Because he yearned to always stay rooted to his home ground, to his motherland, and could never bear to stay away from his state, from his country, and from Ganga. 7. Find at least 2 instances in the text which tell you that Bismillah Khan loves India and Banaras. First occasion, when he was associated with the movie industry, and despite being a very famous personality there, he did not continue any further associations with the film industry because he could not stay away for a long period of time from his homeland. The next instance can be when one of his students asked him to shift to USA. To this, he also had a similar answer to the student and stated that he could never bear to stay away from his homeland. And when the student said that he would replicate the exact atmosphere even at USA, but Bismillah Khan said that it might be so, but then he can never transport Ganga there. So these instances say how much he loved India and Banaras. So that's all for today. I hope you have understood the chapter and liked this video. Do let me know in the comments below about your opinions regarding this video. Thank you.